Okay.
Penis.
God damn it.
God, you didn't.
I just said, and when I say 10 seconds, I want you guys to remain quiet. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Unsolicited Opinions podcast. I'm, of course, your host, the Meerkat
My
Modder.
penis is very quiet.
Yes, but it wasn't you I was raging to.
Because I laughed.
No, because she said okay just as I unmuted. God damn it.
Shit, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Stole
We
my
continue
thunder.
to have highly professional standards here at Unsolicited Opinions.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And since you guys can't see the people that are with us today, because for some reason Oprah doesn't want me showing the fucking Google Hangout. So we have with us a couple of juggalos in Dr. Evil and Roy.
Howdy, howdy.
What? I know how magnets fucking work.
How does a
And
magnet
of
work?
course from
Motherfucking miracles.
Swedishstan itself, Alter is joining
Alter.
us. Yeah.
Hello.
And we're hoping that Artivous also joins us a little later.
Oh. And there goes
That's
Plippy.
Plippy.
Hey,
Plippy.
Plippy!
Plippy, I haven't been able to been on a stream with him yet, so I'm kind of happy to he's here.
That's
I'm
good, because...
elusive. By nature, I am very elusive.
Yeah, okay.
We
But
needed
it's-
some English people anyway.
Yeah, because we got a lot of shit from your fucking country to cover this week.
Oh golly, oh golly.
You guys done goofed.
What do we
Like
do
everybody.
now?
Well, Sweden always goofs, so you know.
Yeah, it's about time.
It's about time somebody else takes the gauntlet, as they say.
I'm just waiting for the Trump that can make fun of the Americans again.
Yeah.
Keep waiting.
So, what are we talking about anyway?
Didn't we already go over this?
Oh, no, we have a fucking topics list, but Plippy joined us live, so he missed the discussion. But
I'm not one for
What is
discussion.
the first topic up for bids?
okay,
Ah.
the first thing I want to talk about, because I have a title on this podcast that is Unsolicited Opinions on hashtag Clowns Lives Matter. Fists up.
Yes,
Fists
please.
up.
They do. They do.
No, sorry.
Please.
Noses
Please.
up. Noses up and then squeak.
Please explain this shit to me, because, you know, I've been a normie this week.
Okay.
Me too.
As
Kind
far as I can understand, the Clown Lives Matter thing was a response, maybe a joke response, but I'm not sure, of the profiling, because there has been a trend going in the U.S. in some suburban areas that people have been dressing up in creepy clown wear and showing up everywhere at night and scaring kids and so on. So
That's terrible.
So clown, I think it was a clown union. I'm gonna find the article while you guys discuss
I actually
it.
have a quick story about that. There was an incident in Maine where a clown in an SUV in the evening pulled up in front of an old lady's house, rolled down the window, stared at her. She said, "I ain't afraid of no clowns," and he pointed his fingers out at her and mouthed the word "bang." At which point, she pulled a 9mm pistol out of her purse and held it up and waved back, and the guy took off.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my goodness! What?
It turns
what
out
is
that
in the
9mm
water?
pistols are effective clown repellent.
Nice.
As much as anything else repellent.
Okay. Here's the thing that happened. Okay, there was a Clown Lives Matter march that was scheduled to be or is scheduled to be held in Tucson, Arizona. So.
Of course, in Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah. I was just waiting for you
I'm
to
100
comment on
miles
it.
from. I'm 100 miles from ground zero from that. I thought I built a tremor in the clown course.
Jeez, man.
Are you gonna show up in your unicorn costume?
I don't think it looks silly enough. Also, it's not a costume. It is my culture. It is who I am.
Unicorn lives matter.
I'm sorry. Yes,
Yes.
I shouldn't mock. I shouldn't mock
The
people
trans
of
species community has fought very hard for many years to get to this point.
yes, and defiled many a hotel room while
But
doing it.
But seriously, this thing is going to be the worst thing since Gathering of the Juggalos.
Yeah,
Seriously.
that's why we have a juggalo as our screen cap this week.
I don't even see it, so.
No, it's it.
Is
It's there.
that-
It's there. It's there.
So that is silly string bukkake that I'm seeing here.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Silly
Of course
string
it's there.
bukkake. It's just
So,
yeah, but the
Tucson-
thing is, I don't know. I don't think it was started as a joke because there are people that work for a living as fucking clowns, and they were actually feeling threatened because they couldn't walk around in their fucking work apparel.
You have to understand something about Tucson. As far as Arizona has a San Francisco, it's Tucson.
Okay, so it's like Austin in Texas then.
It's all kinds of. I lived down there for about 8 years, and it's got everything like the downtown district that they keep alive, even though it keeps losing money every year. It's they keep trying to bring back the old rail system because light rail is cool, even though it never was popular. They try instituting all these policies. They're the cops there are pro-gun, but the city council's anti-gun. And of course, this being Arizona, that's pretty much heresy. But the biggest thing is that you walk around Tucson and you'll just see weird shit every now and again. You'll walk a couple of blocks, everything looks normal, and then suddenly a NASA helicopter on blocks in somebody's yard. I'm not kidding. Not kidding. That's the thing. You walk another couple of blocks. There's a giant plastered lizard with scales made out of mosaic markers. Just shit all over the place like that, and it's both cool, weird, and a little creepy. So, and yeah, the politics are very San Francisco in many areas.
Yeah, I just like to point out that I'm someone who has actually got that phobia of clowns. So this is going to be fun for me.
Oh, you have coulrophobia?
Something.
I'm
So
a
if
little- I am too.
There's a name for it. Yeah, that is a name for it.
Yeah, it's just how whenever I see, I'm okay with watching on TV, man. But if someone dressed as a clown comes near me, I'm like, Jesus! Oh, get away! Get away!
Dude,
The thing is-
dude, clowns are people too, my friend. You gotta
Look.
stop being so goddamn clownist. Stop it.
I am a
can say-
clownist, and I knew a lady who dressed as a clown. I don't even know why she did it. She was hardly paid for it.
I am not
That's
clowns. I have
because-
some clowns as my best friend.
That's because she wanted to float, because we all float down here.
I remember one time for a show.
I once got paid to be a clown.
Yeah, I was about to say one time for a show, I
this-
actually had to dress up as a clown, and I couldn't look at myself in the mirror.
I don't blame
Yeah.
you.
Okay,
I think you can find there are many clowns who no longer can look at themselves in the mirror.
I was once in a United Bank of Switzerland commercial. Does that count?
I don't know.
Well, Alter's in Sweden, so she says she sees clowns every day.
No, I don't. Well, if I look around, I might find some.
Bad Sweden joke.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
even over here. not
I
even,
thought those were cooks, actually.
No. They're everything.
Sorry. I went Sesame Street.
Hi, kids.
I went Muppets on you there.
Oh, derpy, derpy, derpy.
Actually, come to think of it, Arizona was one of the last places in America that had an active clown show as a kids' TV show. Like up until the 90s, it was the Wallace and Ladmo show, which was practically legendary out here. And
Really?
they kept up the clown routine for their TV shtick until pretty much until they couldn't do it anymore. So I guess Arizona is kind of a final bastion to clown culture in America.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
we are getting a windstorm here.
Yeah,
Who
it's Alter who's breathing into her
Hurricane.
mic. No
Oh,
worries.
I
Hurricane
thought we
Walter.
just moved to Florida.
Should we call up RG and ask if
Sorry,
he wants to hate?
I'm very sorry.
No worries. Should we call up
It's a new
RG
mic.
and ask him if he has helped Haisha this week? Because
Hurricane
I think
Matthew.
he's going to need all the help he can get himself, let alone hand it off to anyone else.
I was in Florida for Hurricane Andrew, so I kind of know how that ends up.
Yeah.
It's going to be nasty.
Yeah.
Especially this is going to be the infrastructure is already shit.
Yeah. And think of all the clowns it's gonna hurt.
It's
All
going to
the
hurt
clowns
all those
it's gonna
clowns
hurt.
at Barnum and Bailey Clown
Yeah.
College.
Oh God. The Florida.
That's located in Florida, isn't it? Little
Yeah,
north
yeah.
of Orlando.
the Florida branch of the Ringding Brothers.
Yeah,
They actually-
there is a Florida
they-
branch, and it's the Clown College that is up there. Actually,
Yeah.
I remember
actually
that.
already-
There'll
they've already
be
reported
red
an
noses
incident.
flying everywhere and fucking wigs and
They've actually
there'll
reported
be a
an
massacre.
incident. They've reported an incident with emergency services trying to evacuate people and build up sandbags because people from the college were coming out and miming the act of filling and packing sandbags.
But here's the problem: when you got clowns, if you give them, if they're trying to put out a fire and you give them a ladder and a bucket of water, there's only one way they know how to act. They're useless in a fire. They put it on their head. They start spiraling around, hitting each other. They keep dropping water on each other's trousers. It's a disaster.
Yeah, and then they use the bucket to throw confetti on the fucking fire, making it worse.
Well,
No,
I'll tell you what,
fuck
though, at least
Clown
you've got a
Lives
man on the
Matter.
scene. I mean, you see a clown car. Imagine how many clowns you can fit in a fire engine.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
That's a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. If you run out of sandbags and you need to get something to pile up a wall very quickly, that is one way to transport a lot of mass.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get the entire, all of them into one truck, zoom, just drop them off.
Sadly, to make them stay, they have to be dead clowns.
No, God. We're talking Clown Lives Matter here. You can't talk about dead clowns.
Dead clowns matter.
It's for the greater good, right? Are we talking about clown eugenics now?
I'm just waiting for the time when there's a clown lives matter protest.
They picked it.
And then a mime with a sniper rifle shoots a hurricane. I want that to happen.
I'm worse than sick now.
Dude, you are aware that there is a peace protest for Clown Lives Matter planned in Tucson, Arizona. That was what we were
That was the
talking-
real thing, yes.
Well,
We're talking
I
about these
think-
nightmare scenarios when the real thing is going down.
well, I suspect the day that Notch gets his chance to go to mime school after not being very happy and satisfied with his life, is he going to go to mime school just to combat clowns?
How can you be a billionaire after being an independent game dev and have a boring or unfulfilling life?
Well,
kind of
I'll tell you what happened. Him and his wife, or Sambo, they split up, and he doesn't see the kids as much as all that. In fact, he doesn't seem to be in their lives much at all, considering the amount of money he's pouring into them.
Yeah.
And that's really, one of the biggest issues of the men's rights thing, but he's going to go and claim, I'm a feminist. Which the funny thing is, he's an egalitarian. He says he's a feminist, just like Christina Hoff Sommers. She can cling to the idea all she wants to, but along the lines, she's going to have to realize the people who want her out and her definition of feminism out want to also kick out the idea that men are actually human.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Men are human? When
Oh,
did that
yeah.
happen?
Who do you believe? Yesterday. 10:30 a.m. A
Guys.
declaration was
No,
made.
Does this mean I lose my privilege?
What privilege? You had no
Privilege to
privileges
go and die
anyway.
of
You know,
wars.
that's the point of the.
Having a
And
shorter,
people say,
having a
oh,
shorter
well, what's the point of the
lifespan.
MRAs? Men have all these privileges. What the hell are you talking about? As
When someone
Bane
says,
would
"What's the
say.
point of MRAs?" We
Yeah.
do know that a certain type of cancer is not a feminist issue, so therefore we need MRAs because apparently there's an issue that feminism doesn't cover.
And there's a
You know
lot of
the
issues that feminism
Yeah.
doesn't cover,
Yeah.
but claim they do.
yeah, and there's actually there was actually a case in Norway now where the HPV virus, the HPV vaccine,
Yeah.
that's completely free for women, but boys who want to take it have to pay 4,000 Norwegian kroners.
Well, the
You know
point
what's funny
is,
about that? You're trying to wipe out a virus, leaving half the population as
Yeah.
carriers,
Yep.
isn't a smart idea.
Nope.
I would just think we're getting away from the subject because, I mean, look at my screen share. When will this end? When will this end?
let me see. What the hell? I don't see it.
You should man, Bobby, you know what your feed's going to be full of.
Oh,
What people have been doing.
I'm so glad that we're not sharing that on stream because there would be
People when
riots
the
in the streets, and
when the clown
Plippy's
lives
head
matter.
would be demanded on the stake.
Yeah, when the clown lives matter hashtag went up, people started looking up news stories of clowns getting murdered randomly and putting it in the tag, no matter how old it is.
Really?
Apparently, clowns do get a lot of shit just by walking around just as clowns.
And I don't disagree with that, but I also know that when this is with anybody who's standing out in a society where people have been hypersensitive and cultures have been kind of smashed together and they don't really understand what this is. They're probably like, I'm not saying Muslims, but just anybody who's from a third world country. Could you imagine? First off, you're in this civilization where it's kind of crazy, and then you see a clown.
God.
Let that settle in on you. You see a clown. What is the first reaction you have?
Kill, murder, maim.
To shy away and begin looking for the rest of the herd.
And just run away is usually the best option you can have.
I usually start singing.
Hey, they don't have that reference point for that stuff.
I think it's important to note that in the Arizona Republic, the chairman of Arizona Black Lives Matter, Reverend Reginald Walton, came right out and said that the event's name is insensitive.
Ooh.
And I quote, the recent events in this country involving clowns has gripped the nation and caused an epidemic of fear. The notion of a Clown Lives Matter rally is insensitive, as the issue of police brutality and violence is a serious issue, and the clown issue is not as important. The Clown Lives Matter rally takes away the focus of a serious issue in this country that we are working with law enforcement and the community to resolve.
When they're saying Clown Lives Matter, they're not saying that Black Lives don't matter.
Yeah,
that's what they kept saying. Yeah.
That's what they kept saying.
You
about
are
all lives
taking
matter.
away the focus of a serious issue in this country because nobody else can have a serious issue. You're taking away our limelight. Stop.
I think what we have to remember here, this goes from Mac, when it comes to Black Lives Matter, a huge number of things taken away from them. Now it's the clowns, but remember there's terrorist attacks in France.
Oh,
just
yeah.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up because I wanted to.
World War II took away
Black
World
Lives
War
Matter.
II took away all attention from Black Lives Matter. The Big Bang, my God's sake, Black Lives Matter, guys. Why are you talking about that thing? I know we're basically just a collection of matter coming out of a small object at this point, but come on, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, I want somebody to do a skit. And this is mostly to Steven Crowder, with a sort of different lecture halls where they're talking about things that have nothing to do with race whatsoever, like the Big Bang, like like astronomy, like big physics things. And then you have people running and say Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter.
It's quite possible to do it through machinima without having to have a big production cost. Just a couple of voices.
Yeah.
You guys could do the voices. Maybe I can eventually get on board with moving my ass and doing something.
Yeah.
I've almost finished my animation thing, so...
I thought you were about to say, I've nearly finished my anime. Signed up to Crunchyroll last week, and I'm still watching. Sorry.
No, but I'm serious. I'm serious. Short.
I'm serious too. I like that idea. I like that idea. That's only a couple of minutes. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I think what that reminded me of, it was like DeRay McKenzie's noted Black Lives Matter, hey guys, let's kill the cops. But he doesn't say it. But he pretty much really implies it. But I remember he did this thing of sort of doing this, what this article said was a masterful way of saying white all lives matter is bad.
Yes.
He says, if I was a breast cancer support group, I wouldn't suddenly scream out testicle lives matter. And the next day, at Toronto Gay Pride,
then they go.
Black Lives Matter turned up and made that all about them.
Yeah, and they made the fucking shooting in Orlando about them.
Yes, they did.
So fuck that. But let us not forget that clowns have sort of called for killing cops before, and I'm talking about the juggalos. You know who you are. You fucking bastards. Clown on clown violence is not okay. Huh? Juggalos.
Hey, Jekyll Brothers was really good, alright, guys? Good album, man.
Well, you know that
hell did I walk into?
I'm just saying the great Malenko masterful piece of rap music is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We're discussing Clown Lives Matter.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And the reactions that there have been to this. I mean, even in the Arizona Republic thing on this, because there was a march in Tucson that was planned, and the Arizona Republic ran an article with the BLM chair for Arizona bitching about it.
All right, here's the thing about this. Is the whole creepy clown thing isn't new.
No.
Like, other people were doing it.
Yes.
It's just... a bunch of tryhards thought it was cool to try and all do it all at once. And the thing is you go into the wrong area dressed as a creepy clown,
you die.
Yeah, people might fuck you up. So
it's called My Front Yard. That's where that happens.
You can't be going on the bus somewhere.
Hurricane news. The death toll in Haiti from Hurricane Matthew is 339. That's what environmental racism looks like. Hashtag Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. You guys want to talk about this? Because
I just wanted to mock it.
Environmental racism.
Oh, if you really want to mock something, how about Ben and Jerry's coming out and saying that systemic
I did mock that.
Yes, you did.
Thing, and their customers are probably racist.
Yeah.
Yes, I mentioned that on Twitter, and I'm just like, can't I enjoy a frozen ice cream without some fuck ejaculating their politics all over it?
Yeah.
No, nothing's allowed anymore.
No, you're good.
Nothing's sacred.
Every single company wants to bow to these idiots.
Yeah.
So why should ice cream be any different?
Yeah.
You think this is
going to enjoy anything anymore?
That's
what they want. They want never enjoy a single thing.
Remember, I want to bring up that Ben and Jerry's also tried to pull this thing with Occupy as well.
Yeah,
you remember that? So they're just catching anything. They're
being very.
They're like ambulance chasers, really.
Yeah.
Only
they're being totally reasonable. Listen, we asked people to be open to understanding these issues and not to reflexively retreat to our current beliefs, not bullshit, Change happens when people are willing to listen and hear the struggles of their neighbor, putting aside preconceived notions and truly seeking to understand and grow. We'll be working hard on that and ask you to as well. And nothing that they just said in that whole thing amounts to anything at all.
No, it won't. It never does. They're always vague. They're always vague and really, really.
Yeah,
Just
that's
make
what
it
you
feel
that's
good.
what you get when you have corporate assholes trying to do politics.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't.
Yeah, but
They just shouldn't.
here's a theory of mine, okay? Here's a theory of mine. Do you think that hipsters are trying to ruin corporations because they want more mom and pop shops everywhere?
No.
No.
God damn it! I thought
No,
I give them too much credit, don't I?
Yes.
Hipsters.
Yeah, after all, the mom and pops are just they're just capitalist white cis homo what is it?
Not if-
Heteronormative,
Not if
family
not if-
oriented,
not if-
oppressive, possibly Christian.
Not if you're wearing a fucking
A burqa.
No,
Okay.
not if you're wearing a sweater knitted from vagina wool.
Don't
Then
even
it's
start
okay.
with that.
What? Don't give them ideas, Jen. You really did.
Shit, yeah.
No, like the whole anti-corporate message thing only applies to when a corporation isn't bowing to their politics.
Yeah. That's
Which is
that's
why
the
they
thing.
will. Which
Or
is
when the
why they will
corporation is
complain.
owned by them.
Yeah. I'm going to bitch about corporate greed, from my iPhone. It's hot air.
Yeah, but iPhone. I remember the days where they didn't exist. You had to
The
put two
proletariat
cans
will
together in a string.
seize the tools. The proletariat will seize the tools of the industrial bourgeoisie to rise up in revolution.
I remember the days when you had to make eye contact to talk to someone. It was disgusting.
When was this?
For him, it's every day.
It's every day.
Every social interaction, you have to look at people and
And Jan just removes the head so then he doesn't have to make eye contact at all.
No, exactly. Privilege.
See, I never did this before, so all technology has done is made everybody else as antisocial as I am.
No, but
Don't say that because I'll drag out the picture of all the guys on the train reading newspapers.
Yeah, what wrong? Well, I also see the train commuters in the morning and how they look in the Stockholm area, and most people are very engaged with their telephones, not to bother people around them.
I always say that
Yeah,
the smartphone gave Scandinavians an excuse not to talk to people on the fucking on public transport in general.
I'm
Yeah.
finding it.
Yeah, but then I'm the outlier who always gets the conversation whether I want to or not.
me too. It's normally Jessica Valenti asking to look at my phone to see how many women I'm following.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Yeah,
Elon
I'm
Musk
pretty
apparently
sure.
only uses Twitter to follow news organizations. He doesn't follow men or women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's
Yes,
exactly.
all this technology is
No,
making us
that
more
was-
social.
Actually,
We
in a
are
way, this is
We're
something.
not. let's stay on this topic for longer than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing is they went after this guy because it was. I don't even think they cared that he actually followed the people that they wanted him to follow. It was more of we wanted to attack somebody. Here's some clickbait. It was just random target.
Yeah.
Here's a big wealthy man in tech. Why
Yeah,
is he
big
so
wealthy man in
sexy?
tech.
That's basically it. That's basically it.
Well, it's the
Mhm.
same as it did with that other guy when after his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Palmer Lucky, yeah.
Yeah.
Just it's the same shit.
Yeah,
Just
but
different
you can't wrong think and be in tech, because that's dangerous.
Well,
All of a
that's one
sudden
the-
you get to spread your ideas, and then nobody knows that the fucking SJWs don't get to live in North Korea like they want to, because their leader is the only one who has the true message, and the dear leader knows everything that is right, and you need to follow this, and you need to. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Well, remember,
it makes my fucking head hurt.
what I said about the pirate. I don't know. I've found myself in many conversations considering the pirate party and what has happened in Sweden, considering the pirate party, and even the former leader who didn't resign. There was a leader of the pirate party at about 2014 September. She put out this opinion piece saying about tech as being sexist. She resigned soon after. She did, because they pressured the shit out of her. But one of the biggest deals I noticed is that I follow the pirate party. I've been very enthusiastic about this because of who was in it, and because of where it's stemmed from, and because it's mostly centered around Scandinavian culture. It really is.
Yeah.
And of course I am very big fan of Birgitta Jonsdottir in Iceland. I really like her.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that bothered me was noting who followed the very first pirate party leader, who was interviewed by Max Kaiser and all these other people. He actually follows Shanley.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm like saying. Like, and everybody was saying, there's a 50-50 cuck ratio here.
To be
You
fair,
know what I mean?
To be fair, she is hilarious to follow.
She is hilarious, but I don't think he was following her ironically.
Oh my god.
That is the problem.
It's just
A lot of people follow her ironically. She's a drama queen. She's perfect for that. But
Silicon Valley.
She's everyone's crazy ex, though.
yeah.
Not my crazy ex. I wouldn't have been involved with anything that crazy.
No. She's freaking crazy. But then again, a lot of these rinses are, and that's what they generally are too. They're like, pay to talk to me. It's like, what is this? What feminism is? Pay to talk to me. Give your money to women.
That sounds like an escort service.
That's the author, isn't it? On Twitter, she doesn't answer any questions from men unless you paid money to her PayPal.
Yes.
She doesn't answer any questions from people she doesn't like unless you pay her money. And I still think PayPal should ban her for being a scam artist.
Well, she's a rinse, and that's what rinses do. They do that. They rinse men of their money. And you know what? I talk to men for free, and I don't expect anything, and they don't expect anything either. They just expect conversation. Yeah, I am.
No.
I do it for free.
No, altar is a giving priestess.
Yeah, I'm giving up my heart.
Yes,
and soul.
yes, exactly. While these others are escorts. Exactly that, because you have to pay to fucking listen to them. No, thank you. I will not pay.
Standard pitch.
You've been listened
standard
to.
Pitch last year, where they were saying like, "I don't have time to educate you unless you're going to pay me money."
Yeah. Once again, the author does that too on Twitter. Follow the author. Go see the author on Twitter and just see how nuts she is.
You're supposed to be an activist. You're not supposed to make money off of it. You fucking bastards.
This is America. If you can do both at the same time, why not?
Well, that's what they've.
Then you're not an activist. Then you get your shill. And you
A
just fuck
sucker
off.
and their money is soon parted. That's a very American saying.
That is, but that's also P.T. Barnum saying, isn't it?
Exactly.
Back to clowns.
Back to clowns. Back to clowns.
So, as you can see, clown lives matter because they are driving society and its main goals right now.
Yes, it's all clowns. Stop culturally appropriating clown culture. Okay,
really, it's clowns all the way down.
You can't use iPhones. You can't use anything if you're not make up with white face and so on.
Whiteface, that's racist.
Whiteface. Oh, come on, it's current year. That is just beyond the
No,
pale.
clowns started in France, so technically it's whiteface.
It's a deviation from the mime.
Yeah.
Mon Dieu.
And as I said, I said earlier I think I made a tweet a while back that Notch was dissatisfied with his life, and he's probably going to abandon his life and go to mime school if he can find a decent one.
Did you just say that clowns are deviant mimes?
Yes, they are.
I like that description.
I like it. I like it. Yeah.
And if you're a juggler, my mother-in-law says you should go to hell.
Since we have the British guy here,
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the BBC.
NUS?
No, the BBC first, and then the NUS.
Oh,
Okay.
you just keep your fetishes out of this.
I was just thinking, don't Swedes call British people island monkeys? Is that the term?
No, I've never heard of it. Actually, I hear British people call Swedes like in turnip head.
I've not heard that one. I've not heard that one.
I think it's funny. I must be really drunk.
Anyway, so BBC, what have they done now?
Okay, so they have launched this diversity plan.
Oh, good.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah.
And,
I know. Yes. Okay.
And this resulted in not just one, but I think there's two now that have been fired from radio shows because they want to replace them with women or minorities.
Or disabled people, or, anything they can find.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you're a dysfunctional psychotic midget, now's the time to walk through their doors.
And even better, if you're a dysfunctional midget juggalo, you'll get a job at the BBC.
Just the word juggalo is making me laugh.
You
I don't
guys
know.
are just so obsessed with clowning around.
But the BBC's been at this for a while now. I think about a year back, they put out this mandate that every single BBC show which had a panel had to have at least one woman, which made me think. So basically, if a woman's on there, you just know that she's just been put there. You know that she's not actually there for.
Yeah, if there's only one woman there, then she's there for the diversity.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's there to represent, man.
I remember they've been on this diversity kick for so long. There was a point, there's a TV show called The Musketeers on the BBC. And I'm going to be honest about this one. D'Artagnan looks like he's of Saudi Arabian descent.
Oh, God. Oh.
No. He's actually a very good actor. He does the role really well. But ethnically, you go, I don't think he's a native Frenchman. Not going with that one. And one of them is black. But the thing is, that show kind of works because the show is so preposterous anyway that it's a fun show, but you kind of just stop caring for that one. But if it was it was supposed to be historically accurate, you'd be watching it going, I'm not sure this works. But most of the BBC's been on this for a while. I mean, look at any TV show you could have something. I'm just saying they could do a documentary on the BNP and they'd have a black guy in there.
Yeah, I know what they did this too with the Christmas what do we call this, Advent show, where we have the whole month of these programs every day, and this one was like 2,000 years till Christmas. And they had to put in the diversity. They had to put a woman playing a man. They had to do all this stuff,
Yeah, I remember
just
that.
to pull it in, just to do that, and it really bothered me because it felt like that was shoehorned. It was shoehorned. If it had been more natural, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But it was like, damn, did they really have to shoehorn it in?
Yeah,
that's the problem. That's always been the problem with shoehorning diversity in anything in terms of the creative process, because it doesn't make it doesn't make sense first, and it doesn't really represent the people. There's two routes to screw it up, and one is to, for the most part, try and shove it in people's faces as hard as humanly possible. Look at this minority. Look at this woman. Look at this person. And it just doesn't fit at all because it's not on topic.
Especially if it's a historical piece and they're trying to play the diversity role.
Yeah.
Even though I can see where it could have gotten in very invisibly, because they're taking like these kids from today, present world, and they're pretending that they've gone back in time.
Yeah, Robin Hood. The Robin
so that
Hood
was
version.
okay,
Yeah.
kind of.
The Merlin show for BBC and also the Robin Hood show for BBC were seriously did a lot of that shit.
Yeah, like with Merlin, it was it was Genevieve and Guinevere's black, and
it's just kind of like what?
No fucking way on
Not particularly historically accurate.
Arthur is now Asian, and he knows kung fu.
No, Arthur was a blonde guy.
They actually made him a blonde white dude.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying if we're gonna totally bastardize everything.
Yeah, but
they made him.
They made him a very selfish human being.
Give it
they made Arthur a complete and total prick.
Yeah.
That's because he was the white guy.
Of course.
No, no. He was a classical jock. He was the classical high school jock.
Yeah,
and then Merlin was the nerd,
character.
and then Merlin has.
Yeah, but we have to make everything diverse. But here, let's have these stereotypes.
Yeah,
we're totally not trying to make him Harry Potter, even though we hired this actor that looks exactly like.
Yeah, but Merlin came first, so I accused J.K. Rowling of stealing Merlin culture.
Here's my favorite thing about J.K. Rowling. She's pretty much making every current political event somehow related to Harry Potter.
Yep.
You gotta chill. Okay, here's the thing about J.K. Rowling. People forget that she finished the Harry Potter series, right? Major hype. Everybody loved these books. One of the most talked about things ever. And then she tried to write other stuff.
She tried to write like porn or something.
Anybody in here tell me?
Crime porn.
Anybody in here actually tell me what she tried to write after Harry Potter that had
It was a crime. It was a crime novel.
With adult themes.
Name it.
Yeah, with the empty chair, I think it was.
No. Name the damn book.
Nope. Can't. Kids, I can't remember it.
Isn't it called The Empty Chair?
Is it Empty Chair?
Yeah, I think so.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Nobody bought this damn book.
No, that's
none of the Harry Potter fandom. None of these whiny.
Well, it wasn't really targeted for the Harry Potter fandom either. It wasn't really anything that they would have wanted.
It shouldn't matter if you're a really good writer.
It shouldn't,
if they write something
The Cuckoo's
good,
Calling was her crime book.
And that's the thing.
Just Googled that.
Nobody. Can I finish my thought?
Say.
Fuck it out. Nobody bought this damn book. Nobody cared about this book. Nobody paid attention to this book.
And people giggled and pointed at that book.
Yeah, basically. So what she learned was nobody gives a fuck about anything but Harry Potter. Which is why after that she's going back to writing plays and trying to milk off this fandom because she knows flat out nobody cares about anything else.
Well, after you write a series of about 5 or 6 books in the same vein, after having a film and everything, you think that she could break out of that, but I don't think anybody without very, very superior force could do that.
No, dude, Ted Williams does it every time. He writes a trilogy,
well, okay.
then he jumps
but somebody
universe.
who's a really, really good writer, as opposed to depending upon a character series.
Yeah. Well, it's common. That's the thing. It's common among fucking fantasy writers to do that. To jump. If you don't count fucking Terry Brooks, who only writes Shannara. No, he doesn't only write Shannara. He also writes the Landover series. But it's very common not to keep to the same fucking universe in every fucking series that you have. And
Because
usually...
you don't want to be tied down.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even
And that-
George
and
R. R.
that's-
Martin doesn't only have Game of Thrones. He has a
Yeah.
lot of science fiction books as well in a different universe.
That's the kind of problem she's running into, is that her fan base is turned psychotic.
Yeah.
And she has to keep up with them.
It's my favourite thing. You know, she actually said that a Harry Potter character wasn't gay and it caused an uproar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing. She bowed to them in every single turn whatsoever. No matter what ridiculous thing that came up, no matter what hand cannon, they would periodically, every couple months, push some headcanon stuff that she'd be like, okay, fine, that's a thing in the Harry Potter universe, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, Hermione
And
can
then
be
she
a
just-
middle-aged black woman even though she's...
Yeah, and then at some point, she just decided, no, Sirius Black isn't gay. And they freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because she had been courting these fucking internet idiots that, for the most part, basically, social justice warriors, for so long and so hard in order to get, like, any kind of momentum on stuff she was working on, that her going against the narrative...
The type of people who think that they know fantasy because they read Harry Potter as kids.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so now she's trying to, because that was such a big explosion, she's trying to get back in her good graces.
Yeah.
I think what is another amazing thing of the social justice types that I think is amazing, they seem to think they need to have a character which mimics them in some way for them to enjoy or like or relate to the character. I keep getting told, and I keep getting told that it's because I'm a white man, I get to do it all the time. When the fuck, my favourite things are Japanese.
Yeah.
Battle Royale is a great film. At no point do I sit there thinking it would be so much better if white people were in this. Oh god.
One of my favorite characters of all time that I've always identified with is Zatoichi from the Zatoichi films.
Yeah.
Okay, something that I've been waiting to jump in and say about the J.K. Rowling thing is that she's had more success with the one series than most authors have in their entire career.
Most.
And
Yeah.
now I will give it. Let me get this out. Let me get this out. I'm gonna get this out.
Let Royce finish.
Fucking A, Jesus. It's like she's had her run. It doesn't matter whether she can jump to anything else or not. And yeah, she's gonna milk it for all she's worth because that's what she's got. That's what she did. It's like if you were an NFL star and you had a 5-year career, boom, it's done. Congratulations, you got your Heisman, you got your Super Bowl ring, retired.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing is that retirement for an author is another thing.
Yeah, but I have one fucking name
Anne Rice.
For you to not just Anne Rice.
A good or a great and a legendary author, a great author,
Stephen
jump genres.
King.
Stephen,
as long as he's not doing full books, yes.
Cringe.
Yeah. No, fuck you. You said she has had more success than any other fantasy writer.
I said most. I said most.
Most.
I said most writers,
Modified.
most authors.
There's Stephen
period.
King, but Stephen King is not as successful as Stephen King is, and as wonderful and diverse. I have to say diverse because he did play in a band and stuff too. He did comedy. He did appear in films too. The thing about Stephen King is that he keeps to the simple, and it's broad and wide. It's not my kind of cup of tea.
A lot of books, though.
He writes. He's productive.
He writes so many books that
the net is very wide.
Yeah, I'm not even comparing.
I seriously suspect that Stephen King has a fucking basement filled with young Thai boys that write for him.
No. Here's the thing about Stephen King. He is boring,
smooth skin.
uninteresting person on the face of the planet.
Stop masturbating, Plippy.
Stop it. Oh,
In the
no.
right light, in the right light.
Like I've
just like
seen
little girls.
Was
interviews
it
with
something
the
I
guy
said?
and like his home and whatnot and his family and whatnot. He is the most uninteresting, just boring kind of normal person on the planet. It's like all the crazy gets put in the books. And he's like
Yeah, but that's good.
Yeah,
It's
he's
so
found
good
a
that it's in
creative
the book.
outlet for his psychotic side, and I actually I adore him
Wish you
as a
had
writer.
that, Jen. Yeah, they get that.
I wish I had his productivity. I actually do. But he started at 25, 26. I'm 35, almost 36. I don't have the same fucking creativity as he does, or productivity. I have the same creativity, I would say.
I just did a bit of a background check to check on successful authors. Stephen King, $400 million net worth. J.K. Rowling, it literally says here about $1 billion.
Really?
I'm sorry.
She wrote less, but she managed to be more.
No. Here's the thing.
It's not the volume.
People don't realize just how much money she got from everything.
Yeah.
It was the book sales. It was the movies. It was the merchandising. It was
merchandising.
She is worth. There are theme parks based on her characters.
Yeah.
She
gets a cut of everything.
I still wait for the Pennywise fucking theme park.
I'm waiting for the Mario theme park.
But here's
Me and my kid who want a Mario Kart theme park.
But here's the amazing thing about J.K. Rowling. Even when the films were taking place, she still had a hell of a lot of creative control over what happened.
Oh yeah. But that's she actually put her foot down. Unlike Stephen King, who let almost anyone fuck with his goddamn writing.
Well, Salvador Dali also did the same thing. He just signed a whole bunch of blank paper with his signature and just let people just here. It's
Andy
yours.
Warhol did the same thing. Andy Warhol had the factory where a lot of young artists worked and just did silk prints of his work, and he just signed them once they were done. He didn't.
I was born not too far away from that stuff. I can't believe I was drinking the water. God help me. I wonder why. Shit, man.
And you have his gray hair.
Oh shit.
Well, here's the thing about Andy Warhol. People don't seem to realize that he was just a pretentious dick. That was his thing.
Yeah.
He started out
a really good designer. He was a designer.
Yeah, he was good. He was a fucking great
commercial artist, graphic designer.
Yeah.
He was very good at what he did too.
Yeah. That was my favorite thing. People may not like Men in Black 3. The depiction of Andy Warhol was great.
Yeah.
If you've seen that film, the Andy Warhol scenes made me piss myself laughing because I know autistic people who are like that.
It wouldn't surprise me if he was on the spectrum once they if he'd been diagnosed today, he'd probably be on the spectrum.
I wonder if I am, even though I haven't been diagnosed.
No. But anyways, going back to the actual topic of the BBC firing a white guy, because that was
white guys, bye.
Yep, bye. White.
It's an example of actual institutionalized racism. And sexism.
Yep.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. They go on and on about institutionalized racism and sexism, but they can't provide an example.
Yeah, but
there's an example. It's just not the race and sex they're interested in.
Yeah, I really like how they went ahead and they tried to say afterwards that he's misinterpreting the reasons, and he just said, no, I actually just told them the reason you gave me in the email.
Yeah, and I'm not saying. Here's the thing, I've had it a little bit with everybody saying that it's discrimination. There's no fucking doubt that it's discrimination.
That
but
is
it's not
discrimination.
Yeah, but it's not racism. Discriminating against... No.
It
Listen.
It is racism.
No.
You said no.
Allow me to
doesn't make it
fucking
not
finish my
racist.
point.
No,
Okay.
I'm not letting you make excuses for this racism.
No, I'm not.
Turning the
I'm not.
volume down. Turning the
Okay,
volume
let
down.
him finish. Let him finish. Come on.
I'm not making excuses for their fucking bigoted discrimination. And it is discrimination. But racism actually has a fucking meaning, and it's been diluted by these fuckheads for far too long, and I'm not letting everybody else jump on the same fucking train. It's not racism because you're not
It is.
believing
Yeah.
that
Okay,
one
okay.
race is
Jan,
superior
you
to the other.
screaming doesn't make you right. It's
No.
racism.
Explain.
It's racism because
Explain.
discrimination based on race.
It's
Therefore,
bigoted
racism.
discrimination. No, it's not racism.
Yeah,
Jesus.
they
based on
are
race.
discriminating against white
Discriminating on
people,
race.
Jan. Therefore, it is racism.
Otherwise, we would have to say, Jan, that if a company decided they were not going to hire a black man because they wanted a white man handling the register when front-facing
Ooh.
customer, if you had somebody doing that, that would be a racist policy, and nobody would say.
Yes, I
Yeah.
see your point, but
Yeah.
the problem I
if
have
they
is
don't
that
think-
every time somebody screams, it's wrong.
Jan,
It's fucking wrong.
Jan, a
dude.
million idiots diluting what a word means doesn't mean the word stops meaning what it means. This is actual racism. That's what it is. Cut and dry. That's why it's such a big problem.
No, but here's
Listen
the
to the
thing,
magical black man.
yes, I am
Yes,
listening to.
goddammit.
No,
I
but
know I wasn't here last week, but
nobody was there last
No,
week
where
because
was that?
everybody fucking forgot.
It's not that they
The
forgot.
problem is,
I was on-
No, but the reason,
you're being tricked by them into not calling it racism when that's what it is.
No, but
It's
listen
racism.
listen
They're
to me.
discrimination. It's also sexism.
Could I please make my fucking point without getting interrupted?
hell.
Here's the thing. They're not firing him because here's the thing. They are firing him because he's white. They're not firing him because he lacks the ability because they believe white people can't do that job. That's
the definition
racism.
of racism.
Okay, no. That's actually that is a prejudice. That is prejudging somebody based on race, but it is still racial discrimination.
Yes,
to say
racial
we're not going to-
discrimination. I can
Yeah,
agree.
Okay,
which is
racial
part of- which is part
discrimination.
of-
Okay, there.
I've
You split it
racism.
right. You split that hair right. It's
Yeah.
racial discrimination just based upon the fact that they do not want
Yes,
a white man.
because
Therefore, racism.
no
Therefore,
racial
racism.
discrimination.
Racial
Johnson.
discrimination.
That's the
Oh
same
my
with Al
God,
Jolson.
we're gonna be here for
It's the Al
15
Jolson
minutes.
argument, right?
I'm never gonna get to
No,
Vivian
but
James, am I?
anyways.
They didn't deny black people in the minstrel shows because they didn't think they couldn't sing. They denied them because they were black. It's the same fucking argument. That was racism, so this is racism.
Denying somebody
okay,
employment.
Let me explain it this way. Say there were back then they wouldn't have African Americans out in storefronts because they would seem unprofessional. We're not racist. It's other people's perceptions that we're worried about. So we're not going to have black people out in the front of the store.
Yep.
It's the exact same thing. You made
It's affronting, then, isn't it? It's
but
about other
it's
people's
just- it's
impressions.
It's just that we're taking this word.
I'm
and
not
we're
the
lumping-
racist.
No. But let me fucking.
I'm doing it because
Yeah.
they're racist.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I've had it with people watering down that term. That term is a fucking
Yeah,
conversational.
I agree. But
It's
this
a
is cut and dry, dude.
conversational nuclear bomb. You're not supposed to use it every fucking time something happens that you don't
Jan,
necessarily like.
All right,
Jan,
Alright,
I get
okay.
that,
Yeah.
but
Listen,
that doesn't
racism,
stop this from
prejudice,
being racism.
discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one's own race is superior or inferior.
Yes.
Synonyms:
Oh.
racial discrimination, racialism, racial prejudice / bigotry, xenophobia, chauvinism, bigotry, bias, intolerance. So therefore, it's racism by the dictionary definition of the word.
Dictionary.
Dictionary,
Hey
ma.
Jan,
Anyway,
if you
Yeah.
don't stop, I'm just gonna start saying that the word racism triggers you.
Yes,
It
I
it
do.
probably
actually it
has.
actually does because I've had a week, and I actually want to talk about this right now because I've had a week
Oh
of
no.
no, listen, I've had a week of feeling what it's like in Sweden in my own fucking country, because there has been a closed Facebook group called Mannegruppa Oppdal in Norway, which
Mm-hmm.
has been a well a place. I haven't been a member myself, and I know a few people that are members and have been members, and the thing was that that group was basically for man stuff, manly humor and bad jokes, basically all sorts of things that could push the lines of the politically correct. That was the point of having that group.
Yeah.
And there were 40,000 members in that group. So there were a lot of people in it. And a blogger, as far as I understood the story from one of my friends who's a member of that group, a Norwegian female blogger didn't like the fact that there was a close group for only men on
Oh
Facebook.
no, shit.
So she went
Oh, here we have
after.
the double standard.
Yes,
And
and
you know what? She's gonna call him racist. She
yeah.
didn't. She
No,
did.
no, no,
She
no,
did. She
no,
went
no, no,
there.
no, no, no. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay. Okay. But I expect that it is.
Yeah. No, it's not that. It's they the the thing is she went after them, and she, as far as I understand, she got some screen caps of jokes made in the group that she didn't like, and then posted it on her blog. And then other bloggers started writing about them, and then a few members of that club or that group started acting out. You know how it is.
Yeah,
Some
get angry.
morons are always in certain clubs, and they feel like it was basically John Kelly of
Oh crap! Oh crap! Don't even start. Oh,
so
oh
they
don't even
started.
mention him.
No,
Oh
so
my
they
god.
so they so they basically started to um
Corrode it
encourage.
from inside out.
Yeah, no. They started to post shit about people that were talking about this group in the group, encouraging people to harass them and so on. And a lot of people didn't like it. It was a badly moderated group. That was the main
Okay.
problem. But when this came out, it got even worse. Then the media started covering it. All
Shit.
40,000 members of that group were misogynistic assholes who liked incest jokes and rape jokes and were liable to rape people. And I saw
Shit.
friends of mine on Facebook that were acting out and started calling every friend that were members of that group assholes, and that they should quit that group before we start, and then or I will unfriend you. That was a campaign that was going. That if you had friends that were a member of this group, you should unfriend them. The thing is,
It's moral
there are
policing.
women groups like this. There's two of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, and we already know. We know
Yeah,
that.
there's Kvinnegruppa Ottar, which is the mirror image of that group, and
Yeah.
there's Kvinnefronten, who are also
Amen.
in the same level as them, but they don't get
Well,
judged at all because
and neither did that American online sorority where the woman who harassed the taxi driver, the Uber driver, it's not
Oh yeah.
particularly a taxi. She came from such a group as well, and they have a collusion culture where they're sharing stuff and bashing men. Only that whatever happens in mostly men's groups is never hardly ever anything as harsh as what women do.
I can sum this up
we
with a
say
simple
this,
phrase.
how the collusion and the rape, the rape accusations and the misogyny accusations come from mostly these female collusion, because it's not just one woman who accuses; it's always several women who have colluded together in that back room thing, and they go to the media. They don't go to the police; they go to the media. But there was a rape case actually that Diana Davison had she talked to with a guy from Norway who was a university student. It was a big deal because he wasn't even in the same room with the woman, and she supposedly raped herself under his orders.
Sexy.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a very strange thing. I should send you that link, Jan, because it was a very
I'd be
interesting
So
story.
interesting to
basically,
read
what this boils down to, in a simple phrase, is safe space for me, but not for thee.
Yeah.
Yes, and
that's the
it
thing.
shouldn't be that way, because if I'm going to be an insecure woman and I need my little personal space, I better damn well provide that same liberty to other people, or I'm just being a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing goes true for empathy. If I'm going to be a secure and strong woman, like these so-called feminists are, they better just get off their little fucking high horse, and they better like man up, because they don't know shit about equality. I might not know that much about equality, but I know about responsibility. And it's either equality or it's responsibility. You take up for what you need to take up for and let nobody else take up for you, or you be responsible to the point where, or equal to the point where it's 50-50. One of those things has to give. If you can't give the 50-50, you can at least be responsible.
Yeah, I know you've been drinking because you're getting super butch in here today.
You were talking about
I don't,
Natalie
and this is a
Zed,
very
right?
rare me. I'm telling you, you know this about me. It's very rare.
Please, I've seen you go after. I've seen you go after Digger on Twitter.
Well, do you know what? I'm
When
not
you
drunk
do
at the
the beat.
time, though.
I will say this though. I will say this, Jan.
Yeah.
Please don't yell into the microphone like that again. My ears are actually ringing.
Are you fucking kidding me? Did I yell that loud?
Basically, when you yelled, my headphones started vibrating, and Jesus Christ, it really hurts.
Well, I don't think that his
power,
sound
my
hurt.
dear.
It was probably his emotion that was, because he was really serious, and I could really
you're
feel.
you're making the silly assumption that I'm empathetic towards other people.
Yeah.
No, I'm not making that assumption. I'm making the assumption that Jan's emotion is so strong that it circumvented his actual volume and made you assume volume.
Yeah, rumbling. Yeah, I had to hit the mute button and take my headphones off for a minute there. Really.
Sorry again. I as I said, I've had a bit of a week because I went to.
I understand.
I basically tried to say that no, I don't necessarily agree with that sense of humor. You guys know me. I have a pretty raunchy sense of humor. I don't mind fucking dark jokes, and I don't mind that kind of dark jokes. I take a fucking stand against calling for harassment and so on, but I do that towards every fucking body. But what I was trying to get people to do was stop going on a goddamn witch hunt after their friends who just have a bit of a raunchy sense of humor, who may not necessarily have been part of the fucking doxing and part of the fucking harassment, which was, as far as I can tell by the friends that I've talked to, 3 or 4 people out of 40,000.
Yeah. Well, it's like the 4chan.
That's a
It's like the 4chan
fraction.
thing with the child pornography thing.
All right.
Obsession with 4chan and child pornography. If, say 10 people out of the thousands of people that use that website, doesn't make it a porn site. There are white supremacists on Facebook. Doesn't make that website white supremacist.
One of the funniest things I've ever heard of is when somebody has tried to say that 8chan was founded to be a Gamergate site. I'm just like, okay,
shit.
literally years before GG existed, and I'm kind of like, okay, so how do you explain all the other boards that have nothing to do with GG? Okay, every GGer is also a furry Christian pole nut. Pole part. Every one of us.
That might be closer to the truth than you might think. Yeah.
Right now, anyways.
Oh God, am I truly an army after all?
You better burn your unicorn costume, dude.
I don't have a
Well, you
unicorn
have to-
costume. This is my identity, motherfucker.
But you'll notice that whenever they want to go after anyone, I mean, for example,
Don't
now
call it
the
a
old,
costume. This is my culture.
that's whenever they go after, like, it's like right now the
Unicorn lives
alt-right.
matter.
Everyone is the alt-right to these people now.
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
change the labels depending on what they need at the
Oh,
time.
Yeah, I
Just-
talked.
I'm
I
sorry.
talked to a lot of people about this during the week because there were people who went after me for trying to calm things down.
Oh yeah.
It's trying to say, please have some semblance of understanding and empathy for these people, and instead of just going after them whole hog and trying to shaming them into stopping, people were sharing that fucking 1998 study of sexist jokes makes you more likely to accept rape culture. Fuck you! Come on. First,
didn't actually.
Come on.
yeah, I had Asto look at that study, and he said it's too small a sample size. They're jumping to conclusions without evidence, and there's no correlation. There's a correlation between sexist attitudes and enjoying those types of raunchy jokes. But there's
Look,
correlation does not equal
yes,
causation.
correlation doesn't equal causation.
The whole problem here is that you start with people who already are emotionally invested in a given position. They want to find anything
Yeah.
that will support that, and they will ignore anything to the contrary. One thing that strikes me about
Confirmation
Gamergate
bias.
one thing that strikes me about Gamergate to the contrary is the number of people. It's certainly not universal, but the large percentage of people in it who are willing to be skeptical, not only of messages about gamers, but even about the gaming culture itself, saying, hey, I'm willing to entertain the possibility that some of this shit is going on, but you're going over the top. No, it all has to be true. You can't possibly deny anything that so-and-so says because I'm invested in her message.
And that's exactly why I jumped to their defense, because I have been going through that for the last 2 years, and I understand them. And I just wanted people to calm the fuck down. Every time the village starts to go for their pitchfork and torches, some motherfucker's innocent house gets burnt down.
You're the poor guy in the comedy skit who's like going, "Be calm, all is well," and then you get trampled
Yeah. And
every time.
And I wasn't even. People were saying, you're excusing their behavior. No, I said I understand why people go to that kind of raunchy humor if they're going through a tough time in their life. And why are you acting like this? Oh, you're excusing harassment. No,
Okay,
I'm not.
I actually have to stop you here because I need you to listen to what you just said. From their point of view, what you just said is trying to excuse the behavior, trying to play it off. This is what I call conversational judo. You have to look a move ahead for what they're actually saying and then address their actual point. They're saying, oh, they're making these claims. And you have to start with, is that actually what's going on, or is that just what it appears to be what's going on?
Yes.
Are you leaping to conclusions? Get them to question themselves instead of just saying, no, you're wrong, because they will dig in every time.
Yeah, and the thing is that I was
You got to get the leg behind theirs and then push.
You were trying to be the rational voice amongst very irrational people, and they
Trying
usually
to throw logic at illogical people.
Yeah.
it's pearls before the swine, and you're the first one to be attacked. This always happens.
Not my point. No, seriously, I think that's the wrong way to go about that. It's okay that he uses logic. It's just he has to think a move ahead and realize if you just start off saying, no, you're wrong, their first inclination is no, because I already believe I'm right. Therefore, they've set themselves in stone. It's like if you walk up to somebody else
it's
and
not just that though. It's
imagine-
not just that. You're dealing with a dynamic of people that when they are confronted with a negative, they automatically go, because this is maybe crowd
it's a
mentality. This
defensive
is also
reaction.
it's a defensive reaction. So if they
Yeah.
hear what they don't want to hear, the first thing they think that they are hearing is exactly the opposite of what he's saying. He's saying, please don't jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
And he's saying, you're defending those people. Ah!
Yeah, and the thing is, it's exactly the same type of behavior I would
That we've seen at
yeah,
Game
that
of
that that I,
Anything.
yeah, and not only that, that I kind of want people to have when it comes to ideologically driven terror attacks, for instance. Don't jump to conclusions of your fucking neighbor who you respect, for instance, just because he shares the same fucking religion and maybe not the same ideology. And I keep hearing these guys making that fucking argument when it's about Muslims, but when it's about Western guys, then oh fuck no, it's everybody.
Yeah, and well, it's universalization. It's the
Yeah.
best defense against poisoning too. When
Oh.
you look at a plant, and red berries made you poison. It doesn't matter that it's a strawberry out there. You're not going to touch those red berries.
Yeah, and by the way, the old group that I was talking about, the old Facebook
Yeah.
group, got closed down by Facebook and has now been replaced. There were about 10,000 people that canceled their membership during a 2-day period, and they opened up a new group now with the same fucking people, and it's almost at 40,000 again. So it's almost as strong as it was. So they have done nothing at all by acting this way. All they've done is piss off 40,000 people. They pissed off 40,000 good people that probably
Jan,
a lot of them haven't done
How
anything wrong.
Jan,
Yeah.
how is that not a good thing?
It's a wonderful fucking thing. I love it. I love the fact that normies are waking up and seeing, shit.
You don't sound like you love it.
No, because I'm annoyed and irritated that I have to fucking spend my time fighting morons that I thought had more sense in their head than trying to fucking censor jokes.
We've come to this though. We've all hit upon this recently, and not just recently.
Yeah.
I mean, these last 3 years, for me, have been like this. People who I would have thought had more sense than this,
Yeah.
turned out to be absolute imbeciles.
Yep.
And it makes you cry inside.
Yeah, it does.
You have to laugh, but you also feel a sense of like, oh, I didn't realize human beings were that stupid.
Well, we are.
They are, but they're not.
They are.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's
All right.
frustrating.
They are.
It is
They are.
easy to say. It's easy to say.
And it's
that
not like
people
I'm
are
not
just
stupid. That's the thing is I have a lot of empathy for stupidity because how have I learned everything? I've learned it the hard way.
Yeah.
I've
The
learned it the hard
problem-
way.
Yeah.
It
Speaking
isn't
of
stupidity that's the problem. That's not the problem. The problem is people who put their emotional well-being before logically thinking anything through.
Yeah.
I'm with Jan in terms of looking at a problem and saying, okay, we need to look at the actual factors, not what I believe to be true, but
Yeah.
what I know or don't know to be true. Most people, especially if you've got wide-ranging circles of friends, tend to be influenced by what those friends believe. You don't want to lose your friends, so you start agreeing with them, go along to get along. And so you get these people, especially on social media. That's why social media is so damn toxic. You get something like GG starts up. Somebody says, oh, I have a friend who was attacked physically attacked by a GG member. That person's actually whoring for attention, but their friends don't know. Their friends don't want to call bullshit on them. They want to be there for them.
Yeah.
So they believe the story, and it goes around and around, and their friends and their friends.
Listen,
And
that's a listen and believe mantra.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's powerful.
And
But
it usually works the way the witch trials did, and it's always these
Exactly.
women.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
women and this mass hysteria.
We're derailing. This
Yeah,
has
sorry.
to do with anybody. This has
Yeah.
to do with anybody because it goes towards defending your own ego, towards defending your friends, and being emotionally well invested. And
Yeah.
Yeah, we see this all the time. I mean, we've seen this. Well, we're not going to
So-
bring it up, but the latest internet drama brought
Yeah, not
exactly
gonna-
that. No, we're not talking about it.
We're not going to bring it because
No.
we don't want to kick the hornet's nest.
No, I don't have
Oh,
any
no,
opinion.
none of us. Okay, I would just like to point out that none of the people who did these vids give a shit about us in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
They
it's
don't,
pretty
but we
okay
don't
to
need
call out
them.
their bullshit.
it doesn't
Well,
go to
well,
stupidity.
well-
It goes to thinking with your heart and never even engaging your brain.
To be completely frank, Tim does follow me on Twitter, and I've talked.
Well,
to him
that's
several
nice.
times.
Yeah.
So, Tim's
That is
a
nice
good guy.
little
Tim's a good guy.
I liked him.
That is a nice song, non sequitur that has nothing to do with what
No.
we're talking about
No,
whatsoever.
exactly.
in any way.
Yeah. Speaking of stupidity, the
Hashtag
NUS.
Tim was right.
Yeah, hashtag Tim was right. NUS workshop.
Yeah.
You
Oh, that
got
was great.
yeah, you got something on this, Roy.
Yeah, there-
And then
the-
we're covering the Digra thing before we end the podcast. But,
Yeah, in the UK, the big union for students, their national union of students, tends to set policies for how I'm probably getting the acronym wrong, but they tend to set policy for student behavior and decorum across all these colleges, and all the colleges have to be voted in as part of NUS in order to be part of this policy system. Well, it got taken over essentially by SJWs who started demanding things like consent workshops, that every single freshman who goes to a college mandatorily has to go and attend a class learning how not to rape women. Well, you've
It's hard, I know. It's really difficult.
there's a rising epidemic, quote unquote, of freshmen who just like, fuck that noise, so I'm out of here.
Mhm.
An entire workshop was totally empty. Just nobody showed up for this thing.
Nope.
And that's just the leading edge of what's going
The
on.
thankfulness of
you
male
have-
self-respect.
Yes, the thing is, there is finally a lashback at this authoritarianism, which has gotten a number of student unions to formally bow out of NUS for their colleges.
Mhm.
Like half a dozen major British colleges have already bailed from NUS over this shit.
This is the most interesting part about this, because this is the same, that Bahir Mustafa woman
yeah.
Yeah.
who
Yes, this
She
is
was
directly
very-
related.
she was,
Yes.
but also think there is another bit of a backlash.
Fascist back.
I was watching the House of Commons, and the Prime Minister was asked about this from, I think, an opposing party person,
Oh,
saying,
Labour.
"What's your?" It might have been Lib Dem.
Was it
Oh,
Jess
Lib-
Phillips?
Lib Dem.
It wasn't Jess Phillips. It was a woman who stood up and goes, "What do you think of this recent development of having safe spaces on campus?" And Theresa May, our Prime Minister, to her credit,
okay.
said, "I think it's ridiculous. Universities are supposed to be a place where you hear lots of strange and bizarre opinions that aren't like your own. This safe space thing just seems to be a way of shutting down on free speech." And the room went, for the first time, everyone in the House of Commons agreed with her.
Wow.
Wow.
Except possibly
At
some
that
Scottish,
time.
apart from some Scottish National Party going, no, anything you say, no.
No, just because it's you.
Yeah,
Just because it's her.
no, just because the English said it.
Yes, but it's just because it's,
There's a
Yes,
bunch of
sir.
sullen people in kilts in the back going,
No. Oh,
think it's-
sorry.
Well,
No.
They were
what I
actually,
pulled up about the the NUS was the summit on lad culture. Wasn't that one of the topics of the Milo thing, where Milo had
Yeah.
just gotten in somebody's bad
This
side?
this has been part of that.
I know, but I thought that Milo was fabulous there.
Yeah.
He
The
was
funny thing-
fabulous and underestimated.
Yeah.
This is the funny thing. Some of the articles that I've been reading on these various colleges pulling out of NUS because the students are fed up, they'll mention Julie Bindel, and they'll also say,
Oh.
and also certain what was it, overreacting right wing conservatives.
Oh yeah. We have to remember, even Hillary Clinton talks about Milo without naming him. She was talking about him. Like, what? You know who? If you know who he is, you're gonna. I think it's because they don't want people to find out he's gay and Jewish.
The faggot who shall not be named.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they don't want people to know
the
who he is. So if they look him up,
No,
they'll say
I'm
he's
really,
gay.
really worried about Milo.
They don't want to. They don't want to put his name out there because people might go and look it up and see what he actually said
Yeah.
Yes.
and what his actual opinions are.
The
Also-
Voldefag.
Yeah.
The Voldefag. Harry Potter should watch his asshole. 'Cause
That's gonna be the new
I
one.
am in
That's gonna
a
be the new
fuck-
book, Harry Potter and the Bleached Arsehole, featuring Milo.
Look out, Harry! It's the Dick Eater.
Give it 6 months.
Oh god, the worst thing is that book would win a Hugo Award.
It would.
Let's get
Look,
Chuck
this is
Kendall to
like-
write
this
it.
Yeah, but
This is semi off topic. Did you see those people? Well, it counts as the school union. You did see those people who were protesting Milo, but they clearly didn't know who he was or what he said. There are people that openly admit. I mean, there's plenty to criticize the guy about, but they had people there who, when asked, you know, what he said or what he did, didn't know who he was, and he walked past them and they didn't recognize him.
Oh, it would be even funnier if he interviewed them himself and asked them, "What do you think of this Milo fellow?"
Oh, he's awful. Oh, God, yeah. I heard he eats babies. Yeah. You know what I also heard? Yeah. He's homophobic. Yeah. And he's a white guy. Yeah. And you know what else he does? He's a right wing. Oh, my God. He's literally a Nazi. Oh, my God.
I love this. What the chant? I know that I remember this chant because it was so shit. It was racist, sexist, anti-gay, Milo, go away, and they were getting it wrong. It took about 5 attempts to get this very simple chant right.
I have weird news
Anti-gay?
for you.
Anti-gay.
I have weird news here. Apparently, homo nationalism is now a thing on Wikipedia with its own article, and its descriptive sentence is homo nationalism describes the favorable association between a nationalist ideology and LGBTI people or their rights.
You mean compared to like
This is also spelled using the English version, so I'm betting it's somebody pissed off about Milo.
Yeah, I think what I've noticed, and I thought this was going to happen, and I've seen whispers of this. It's when gay marriage happened, the LGBT quote unquote, you know, I'm not their biggest fan because I think too many different sorts of people all grouped together into one political movement. But I said it, the moment that they got the right to gay marriage, people will start to try to push them out of LGBT because they're not oppressed enough for us now, and some of them are white and they're not trans at all. That's and I said it straight away because I'm not saying that I know how they think, but I know their pattern of behavior through years of watching them, and sure enough, about 6 months after that happened, it was like the case again from removing the G from LGBT, QRST UV+. And ever since then, it's been happening over and over again. Then Milo turned up, and has it really gone weird? But somehow he's anti-gay, which is a bit strange.
It's odd that a movement like the SJW movement that seems to be driven largely by large lesbian women
And I hate to be one of those people that says this.
Political
yeah.
lesbians.
It's
It's not just
they-
regular lesbians don't have really any investment in that, but the political lesbian is what they're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah,
The
Andrea
feminist
Dworkin,
political,
the
yeah.
Andrea Dworkin type.
This term gets more interesting as the article goes on. Just to let you know, it was coined. The term homonationalism was coined by a gender studies major named Jasbir K. Puar to refer to the a very British name.
I now have the image of a pink-haired dude in makeup with a beard.
Yeah, I get that
to
feeling.
refer to the processes. Let's see, blah 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 blah.
Cargo pants.
Yeah, cargo pants.
But let's see here, by which the LGBT community, in order to justify racist and xenophobic positions, especially against Islam, basing them on prejudices that migrant people are necessarily homophobic and that Western society is entirely egalitarian. It's like, okay, so you had to do the min-max routine. You had to say, oh, this applies to
Did they
all
use the
migrants.
LBT? LBT, not LB.
Minus the G.
Minus the G.
No, it's in there. It's in there.
Oh, it's in it.
Oh, okay.
As long as you're not white.
Yeah, the full one that they're using is LGBTI.
I thought it was QIA.
Intersex.
Yeah, intersex and also asexual.
They left out the Q.
Yeah,
that's nice. That's a nice change.
Seriously, there's going to be a point at which we just have the entire alphabet and a few numbers.
Yeah,
God, everybody needs a fucking condition, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, you're not seeing the bigger picture in this.
Yeah.
The reason they're trying to put more groups into this is because they're losing steam.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing that happened with feminism once they actually got the rights. They had to find something to switch over for in order to maintain the money they were getting from donations and speaking fees and the like.
Yeah.
When gay marriage got legalized for them, the battle was over. They got what was the ultimate victory for them, and so they're not supported by the gay community as much as they were before. And so they have to branch out and reach out to other groups in order to maintain their cult status. Because
but I don't even think they actually reach out to other groups. They just decide to include them and off they go.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Well,
they never
feminism
really,
did that with them too.
Yeah, they never
They
really
co-opted
actually
them.
speak for these groups. They just added the letter in there and say, well, we speak for them now, so you better not fuck with us.
That just reminds me of that Ghazi post where they were claiming that trans people, basically owned them. We basically own you. You owe us.
What's the letter for the transracial?
T plus.
T plus.
BLM, I think.
BLM.
Seriously, I didn't know about these people pretending to be black until Black Lives Matter turned up. I did not know about this.
All right, here's the thing you need to understand: these people aren't new.
No.
These people aren't new. They were in the 70s, they were in the 80s, and 90s. But we just called them wiggers before. now they're speaking and
now they have
money
names
and,
like Sean King and Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah, and it used to be that we made fun of these people relentlessly.
Oh, we did too. The people that were called the Wiggers, we did too, because they were just white people who claimed to be.
There was a difference between being a wigger and being a white dude that was just cool with white dudes and into black culture.
Yeah,
that dude never got called a wigger.
The difference between Eminem and Vanilla Ice, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally
or Eminem and the Juggalos.
To be honest,
back to the Juggalos. You and your Juggalos.
I'm going after them today.
I don't mind. I like the
ICP. We're calling a beef now.
Hasn't ICP been kicked around enough for fucking crying out loud?
I will say that Bitches by ICP and I think ICP and ODB did Bitches, the greatest song ever written, I think you'll find.
No.
Did you just drop a mic?
No, he dropped the
Not-
pen.
Oh God.
I dropped reality for a moment just to make a joke.
Yeah.
he
Huzzah.
threw a Twinkie at us and pretended it was a grenade.
I
Yeah, but
just
it-
looked up juggalos.
Here's the
Oh
thing.
God.
They got their,
Oh,
they
yes.
got their ICP got
I
their,
forgot those
their,
guys.
their entire reputation destroyed by Eminem when they tried to
go after him.
basically go after his career, and then frickin' Tech9 stole their fans. Like Juggalo stopped being an ICP thing, and Tech9 stole them outright. So
I just looked it up on Wikipedia. Here we go. Juggalo, brackets, feminine, juggalette, or juggler
No.
in Spanish-speaking countries.
That's not what I found.
This is the Wikipedia page. It is insulting to them while at the same time being completely factual and clinical.
Oh yeah, I found juggalo. Okay, I found that one.
Yeah.
But there's also something else which has to pertain to the groupies for the insane clown posse.
okay.
Is it the
They're
fact you're blowing each
Midwestern.
other?
Would you like a proper definition of juggalo, juggalette?
Gigolo and
Lay it on
gigolette.
It's juggalo and juggalette. They're basically Midwestern white trash that are into hip hop.
Yep.
When I
that's
talk
pretty
about
much
rednecks and niggas being the same exact group of people, just with different tastes, juggalos are kind of a weird mutant hybrid of the two.
All right, I want to do a full disclosure. I used to run a Juggalo forum.
So
No.
you know I'm right.
I was only vaguely interested in the music, but my mate was a big fan and he ran a forum, and I was just moderating. Strange people. Let's put it that way. Strange. Hatchet Unit 13. If you want to, if you ever find an archive of that.
No, thank you. I had friends that were juggalos and juggalettes. I dated a juggalette at one time. Like,
I bet she was freaky.
Oh man.
Did she put on the makeup?
Didn't you
Did
see
she put the
the
lotion on
wanted
her
to.
skin?
she wanted to.
the Juggalo feminists?
Oh
I've got
God!
I saw them yet.
See, here's the
Oh,
thing.
but
They got even made
What?
fun of. They got made fun of by the juggalos and the other juggalettes because like, have you actually listened to ICP music?
They're pretty fucking.
Also,
They tried to go
Encyclopedia Dramatica also has an entry for
Of
juggalos.
course they do.
Of course they do. Of course, they're always on top of everything.
You foreigners are just finding this,
But the
and it's
big
like you
question.
do realize this horrifying thing exists, right?
The big question is: will ICP be in Tucson, Arizona during the Clowns Life Matter?
You're making me laugh too hard now.
If they want publicity,
my guts are gonna
because
break.
they're publicity whores to begin with, so I wouldn't put it past them.
No. Actually, I would fucking applaud them if they did it. I would love it if ICP showed up in Tucson, Arizona during the Clowns Lives Matter protest. My sides would fucking explode and leave orbit. To put it bluntly.
Hearing this is my sides are in orbit. So.
Yeah.
I once actually, this is a true goddamn story. I actually spoke to someone who worked with ICP at a wrestling show. Well, when they were into their wrestling thing.
Oh yeah, when they were doing the whole
said-
backyard wrestling thing.
Yeah, and the guy, what was it? Juggalo Championship Wrestling. Wow, cool guys. But someone actually spoke to a blonde one, Violet J. Actually spoke to him and said, in terms of actually knowing how to perform and be a star, the guy's not an idiot.
No, but that's the thing. I think most people who've made it that far in show business, and let's face it, they were big for a certain amount of period. I mean,
No, they weren't. They were not big.
I heard about them in Norway before the internet was a big fucking thing. So
That's because they had really loud fans that.
yeah.
Okay, juggalos and juggalettes are basically a cult.
Yes,
in
yes,
terms
that
of-
we are agreed upon.
that's why you heard about them, because all of them are like creepily into it as if it's some type of. They all talk about being a juggalette or a juggalo like it's some type of fucking religion. It's creepy fucking as hell. But
It is.
like the thing is they got word of mouth like that because they were at the time they were really the only white rappers that actually went hard in terms
Yeah.
of lyrics.
Yeah.
And then when actual other talented white rappers showed up and kind of destroyed their
I
credibility,
mean, they
They had
got
a say.
didn't have an,
annihilated by House of Pain.
yeah, they got
That's
stepped
bad.
on by everybody. It wasn't even like, and so basically they just stayed with their hardcore fan base and stayed up like, and they prided themselves on being underground hip hop artists until they could sign with a major label, and then they did. And the people were like, "Well, what the fuck?" And that ruined their credibility further. It was just they basically what amounts to blackface rappers.
How did we get onto
Yep.
the street cred of ICP here?
What's this?
Because
bringing up the
clowns' lives
goddamn
matter.
fucking
That
clowns.
was
Clowns'
They-
lives matter. Clowns' lives
Are they
matter.
really clowns? Are
They have
they?
never been big. They have always been a joke, especially in the hip hop community. The only people that really gave attention to them were, their goofy fans that everybody loves to make fun of because it's a really dumb idea to run around with clown makeup in the first place.
Still multimillionaires, though. To be honest. To be
Dude.
fair. To be fair.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and to be fair to all juggalettes out there, if you want to show up on my doorstep dressed as Harlequin, I would, yeah.
That's a completely different
I
fan base.
love it when Alter breathes in my ear like this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Am I breathing in your ear? Am I breathing?
Heavy breathing.
Should we cover the Digra thing before we end the podcast?
Before I
Yeah, go ahead.
fall
But
You wanna
asleep
give them
or
attention?
die or well.
Yeah.
I'll be quiet because I don't know
Well,
anything
it's
about
not so
this.
much about attention. It's about the fact that they got shit wrong, and they won't even admit it. But I have two.
Before you go into the argument, just present the thing for those few of our audience that haven't caught this.
Well, we know that we've had an ongoing discussion for the past perhaps 2 years with Digra.
That's a nice way of putting it.
It's a nice way. Yeah, I'll give it that.
I put it nicely. It's sometimes very aggressive on their side. I'm sure it's very aggressive sometimes from our side when they have contested that we were bigots. And now I'm bearing the brunt of that because I'm the person who is still
Yeah,
not.
talking to them.
I'm still talking to them and I'm not blocking them.
Yeah.
And you got to give me credit for that. So don't call me a bigot. No, I'm talking about generally for them that they have to at least give me credit for listening to their bullshit.
But they don't.
No, because they've just closed the door on everybody.
Yeah. I have seen you
I'll
talk with them, and I
just be
often
honest,
think, why do
Alter.
you bother? I honestly do wonder why you
Alter
still
at
bother.
this point, it just looks like a hate fuck orgy.
Yeah.
To you guys.
Everybody looking in from the outside.
To me,
At first there was conversation like maybe a year and a half ago, but now it's just evolved into pretty much majority.
They call me
insults.
bigot, and I say you're getting it wrong, and I will continue to say that when they are wrong. They cannot change their status unless they're a group of voluntary people. They've got together in a group. I as an individual cannot be bigoted towards them because. And it's not because of their diversity, because I don't really see that in their opinions.
I haven't seen one fucking person from Digra that I would let fall under diversity. Fucking quota, unless Stefan has fucking gone through it and had his balls removed.
Well, the point of that is also that they're all part of university systems, and that includes Natalie Zed.
Oh, yeah, she's part of those as well.
They're all connected.
And do you know what Natalie Zed did?
Yeah, go ahead and give us what Natalie did.
Well, what recently or what her history is?
I've
Because
seen her history.
her history is pretty sad because I mean, the first thing that she talks about is being part of a broken up relationship.
Yes, I saw that you saw the fucking joke now. God damn it! Fuck you, Keld! Fuck you so hard.
Kel, you get 100 evil points to spend on whatever you want.
Ooh, what? I don't understand that.
He said Harlequin sounds a lot like mannequin, and Jan was trying to keep that from me.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just as I fucking said that joke, I kept thinking, oh fuck, Harlequin, that rhymes with mannequin.
Oh no. Well,
Can I give
Yeah.
a little bit on Natalie?
You can
prior
do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Her background, besides claiming that she has a PhD in Gamergate, which she doesn't, she just
Which she
tried
didn't.
doing- no,
she tried to do.
Yeah, she tried doing that. It didn't
Dropped
work out
out.
for her. She has done two
she
things
flunked out
that
of
I
an
know.
imaginary course.
Yeah, she does. She's done two things that she's actually done, which are some of the most cringeworthy shit I've heard of. First of
Yeah.
all, she was named in the Gregory Elliott case as one of the group of harassers who was, she's only mentioned once, but she is definitely.
But she's part of it.
She's part of that group.
And it's a political organization,
Yep.
Tipoli, which is a Canadian organization of women in politics. And Toronto, wasn't it?
Yes,
It was Toronto politics. And this is also what Diana Davidson of Feminism Lull has discussed as well. And these people are also connected because she's also not just connected to the general politics of the area and the Gregory Allen Elliott trial, but connected to the very same political group that's creating the Ghomeshi situation.
And she's incompetent to create a Venn diagram. I've never seen.
Oh, she.
Do you remember this Venn diagram? The one that included the term Leroying with a question mark next to it, as though Leroying is a verb. That gave rise to a whole bunch of memes.
Leroying is what I do. I run into situation without thinking of the consequences.
Like,
But at least you have chicken.
question mark,
Yeah.
like you couldn't look up what Leroying quote unquote is in 5 seconds on the internet anyway. Anyone with Google would know what the Leroy Jenkins is.
But this was one of the
You know what
earliest.
Leroy
Thunderfoot
Jenkins is by
is
now, you don't
obviously-
live on the internet.
This
She
was one of the
named-
earliest instances of the meme, hello there, fellow kids, with the following line of, have you been Leroying today?
Yeah.
It's like, that was one of the first incidences that I ever saw, and that's straight from her Venn diagram, which was like literally 2 circles overlapping with a bunch of random statements all over the thing, including the term magic circles in quotes. So, Natalie said, everybody.
Natalie said.
And this is before Diagra published anything from her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
their
heard-
interactions with her in
Right.
that state, because it was last year exactly that she had been such a big stir in the Diagra story, as well as in the journalist. What is it? The Society of Professional Journalists, where she was the candidate. They said, perhaps you would like to come to Florida and speak on behalf of anti-Gamergate.
She wanted to be paid.
Yeah.
They had gone out of their way. They had offered her a situation. And you know what? For somebody who's studying and making a PhD of Gamergate, boy, did she certainly refuse that situation.
Yep.
Any opportunity,
I
some
also
people are
tried to
stupid.
organise her to go and speak with Sargon,
Yeah. Well,
and never contacted him.
one of the biggest
Even though I tagged her
issues.
in.
One of the biggest issues I have with her is also, she of course is a self-defeating person because she doesn't recognize an opportunity. If this is what she's really passionate about, and then she says she is, and she gripes about it and does this, then why is it she backed off so fucking quickly?
She won't. What she always wants is, like I said last week, she was doing the same thing in heavy
The
metal.
metal
It was because she doesn't really care about it. She just wants to bitch about whatever a thing she is vaguely interested in. One time I actually did speak to her on Twitter. I didn't mean to. It was that Ashley Lynch woman.
Yeah.
And-
Oh
and-
God. Oh God. No.
And
no. Get
she
back.
came out and she came after me.
Yeah.
And then
I
I
can
was like-
understand. She does that.
And I wasn't being mean or anything. I was being as polite
Doesn't
as I
matter.
possibly
She's
could.
very abrasive.
And I was being as polite as I possibly could and being nice. And I said to her, look, I was one of those people who wanted to talk about this and chill it all out. And she goes, I think time for talking is over. It's like, all right, so what are you bothering about then? And then she tagged in Natalie Z to the conversation, who I don't remember how it went, but I know that she completely lost it. No, I don't mean she got lost her temper. I mean, she couldn't answer anything I was saying. And then, out the blue, this guy who runs a Nintendo site turns up, who, as he typically does, don't know who he is. He runs this, he runs a Nintendo fan site. He comes into the conversation, and then he starts calling me a shithead, a fucker, and all this stuff. And then they all stop talking to me. So I go, hey, that was a bit of a dick thing to do. And I notice that they've untagged me from the conversation they're having with each other, where they're all telling him how great he is. So I thought, oh yeah, you have your good
White
little
knight.
pat. You had your pat on the head. You had your little pat on the head. And that was the whole thing. Is like, I'm not saying I'm not even a very good debater. I'm not a good debater. I was polite. I was kind. They were clearly saying things to wind me up, and I wasn't taking the bait. And this guy jumps in, and then they stop talking to me. And later quietly block me. And it wasn't immediately either, because I did check.
Okay.
I think I seem to remember that Natalie said blocked me for some innocuous reason. She does that all the time. To the people that actually are polite to her.
Mm-hmm.
She does that. So, yeah. It doesn't fucking surprise me.
She came at me once because I'd mentioned that she was mentioned in the Gregory Allen Elliott case. And she gets on the Twitter and I think it was one or two tweets. Well, what of it? Like she was trying to like really be tough about it. Well, what of it? And I was like, well, you're connected with a lot of things. It's considering, considering the situation. I was saying something about, well, now I understand why you didn't show up for the invitation that was all expenses paid. And she said she had other plans.
Yeah.
I don't think she had other plans. She doesn't seem to be an other plans kind of person. That was probably the best thing that could have happened to her.
Well,
it would have given her some credibility, and it would have given her a new adventure. It would have given her a spine. It would have given an opportunity for herself. If she was really on that pathway, it would have given her a chance. And I care about people not taking opportunities.
Yeah.
I do, because if people are going to be whatever they are, if you're going to be an asshole, then you better be the best asshole there is. Damn it.
Yeah. But she had other things to do. I mean,
her whole schedule was just so full.
I know she had.
It's just so full.
She had to hang around with that racist guy from Ubisoft. She had that.
Yes.
BioWare.
Yes. You got it.
BioWare, and she had to whine about heavy metal on this show called was it Locking Horns, where she looked like she was quite clearly of the three women, the woman who was like doing the most talking, but the other women were kind of giving us sideways glances now and then.
It feels so uncomfortable. Yeah.
This should be my home.
It should be comfortable to be here, that any woman can walk in here and say,
it's fucking metal.
Yep.
You guys, like, oh my god, when I was like 16, 17, okay, I'm not a metal person. And metal and punks used to crossroads quite a bit, cross paths.
I know. We beat the shit out of the punk people every time.
We always had
not always.
And metal people blending at
yeah, there is.
In the later, yes, when you finally, when finally we didn't say, oh, Metallica belongs to you guys. No, it belongs to you guys. Then a couple years later, with you younger people. Of course, you're like, oh, yeah, Metallica's ours. No, Metallica's mine. No, Metallica. See, we were fighting, oh, no, it's not ours. No, it's yours. No, it's not. No. But we had that freedom of expression, dialogue, freedom as being female. because this was the thing. We were women trespassing in the supposedly trespassing in the zone that's supposed to be all boys, and we knew that it wasn't all boys.
No, I mean, if it was all boys, how the
What the
hell?
hell?
How
Did
the
girls'
hell
school
did
come?
James Hatfield get laid so much?
How did this happen? That was the whole reason
Yeah.
they became a band.
It is right
They
fucking
started
now.
the band to get laid because Gene Simmons is too ugly to get laid without being a rock god.
Exactly. But
God damn it.
There are girls in the
I
audience,
don't know. I
believe
don't
me.
think you've ever seen just how low some women will go in terms of the total male attractiveness.
Yep.
didn't get a word of that. Sorry.
No.
No, it's you're. I don't think you understand just how low women will go in terms of male attractiveness. Sometimes you will be surprised just how.
Well, they have to have some kind of compensation,
Yeah.
usually.
I'm
Let
sure
me-
Jan's not a virgin.
Oh, that's low, dude.
Well, you know,
He's waiting for Britney
Harlequin
Spears,
mannequin.
all right?
He's not ugly.
Just as a Harlequin.
I'm sure
Was a
somebody
mannequin.
slept with them before they found the mannequin. I mean,
No, but the thing is, Natalie's
you guys are
before all
nasty.
this controversy and before all this university and stuff, Natalie Zed used to be in a supposedly stable relationship, and somehow she felt insecure in her and whatever, and she broke off and joined some polyamory sort of society.
So in other words, she wanted to fuck a bunch of
Already
people.
that's losing your shit, okay?
Yep.
So here we go. Now we know what Dagra attracts.
Yeah.
Now we know what attracts. Now let's talk about the paper about Vivian James that has just recently come out. And Vivian James, The Politics of Gamergate's Avatar. And of course, remember that this came out a couple of months ago, where they asked, please do not use the Gamergate hashtag in relation to this paper. Please be thoughtful about what you say and where you share it, because what you say on social media may impact the authors with negative repercussions. You mean like somebody might actually say something back like, hey, you got that wrong, why don't you correct that?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's never about corrections.
Hey, we're gonna go ahead and lie about these people, but don't tell them.
Yeah.
Don't tell them.
Don't let them know.
And we're not, you know what, we're not even going to accept any repercussions at all. No consequences.
They sound more and more like Scientologists. I mean, don't share this knowledge with the outside world because their heads their heads might explode because they're not OT yet.
Well, yeah, well, we wouldn't understand because we're not on the levels of academic, what is it, integrity?
I'm just convinced that the majority of these people are on drugs. Like, it's the only really thing that explains all
not
of
enough
this
drugs.
behavior.
I mean, copious amounts of pharmaceutical drugs are needed to control fucking Digra.
I don't
Sophistry is
know
what
the
I
exact
want.
cocktail, but all of these people have to be so medicated.
No, it's worse than that. They're all pitching for influence and hope. Yeah, I'm sure they're all hoping for cash too.
Yeah.
They're trying to repeat essentially what Sarkeesian did, where she was able to make a lot of money from a lot of idiots, and they're doing the handout for grants thing. They're hoping that something catches and they start making a lot of grant money.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not going to be false about their situation, but they were kind of in supporting many of them without realizing it and without their permission, or actually with academic coercion. They were forced into donating to those Kickstarters. They were, a lot of them. I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying, and many of them did it voluntarily, but many of them didn't. And now, with the backlash, especially, I've met a lot of Diagra people who are more prone to speaking negatively about Anita's and Anita's whatever she is that she's doing about her criticism, because they felt like it really cheapens the art. Whereas on
Or
the
maybe
other
they just
side,
came down from their high.
well, maybe they did.
I think it's more like that old stuff
Dude,
really.
I have
He's
never
not the hot button anymore.
done a
He's
drug.
basically she's getting less and less views, and people just don't really seem to care about her as much as they used to.
Well, yeah, that can be a part of it too, because they wholeheartedly thought, and they wholeheartedly backed her up, and a lot of connections between Silverstring Media and the biggest bridge, of course, between Silverstring Media and Degra is what's her name?
Catherine Cross.
The Catherine Cross, who pretends to be an intellectual of some kind of caliber, an academic. Sorry, she put out a paper. It wasn't published by Diagra. She isn't a Diagra member, as far as I know. But she has such an affiliation and such an influence with other people who have become members, such as Pixie Jenny.
Yeah.
So, and
I did actually watch a complete presentation from Catherine Cross. Two takeaways. One, I was there going, could you stop using long words to distract from the fact you don't know what you're really talking about? And the second thought was, you're creepy. You really creep me out.
She is, and reading her paper really nailed it home to me.
I've got something to say.
Okay, please say something.
Can these people just fuck off and leave us alone?
That'd be
Don't want to
nice.
know somebody else for a change?
That would be nice.
That's what they're
Not so
doing.
grown up with
That's what they're doing in the metal community now. They realize that gamers aren't listening to them.
No.
Metal
I'm
instead.
sorry. The metal community
Isn't going to listen to him at all.
gaming community.
No, exactly.
All
I
right,
know.
fuck off out of entertainment altogether. Don't want to annoy someone else.
Yeah.
That's not anything to do with things I
Well,
like.
as Jenny and what's his name, Owens, something Owens, the guy with the book who was also was it Polygon? And
There's a lot of poly out there. There's Polygon, there's polyamory, there's poly.
there's poly.
There's Polytron.
Polytron, there's poly this, there's poly that, there's
Well, the whole
Polly
whole
want a
problem is
cracker,
Uncle Paulie.
Uncle Polly.
the whole thing is what was it that she echoed this one thing, and she and Toril both gave me this in order, because they pulled this shit on me early on. They can say, well, to be, you should be a part of this, because critique makes the art better.
I'm sorry.
No, it depends on where. I give them credit. If you are a good artist and you can help others, then you can critique. Just like a good writer can critique somebody's work. But there's the thing that Milo put out this one piece of work, and I really was appreciative of it, about on the essay. It was written in the 1700s about critique.
Yeah.
And it was actually a very wonderful piece, because it really hit home with me about why people would actually listen to me in school, and why most of the time other people would go, because they respected me as an artist, and they respected the fact that I could stand in their shoes.
Yeah, and that's the point. That's why you have
Where
a
you're
lot
getting
of writers. That's why you have a lot of writers writing book reviews throughout time. That was the huge thing. But
which is the best.
Yeah, but academics and critics have taken the place of the original critic. The original critics were people.
It was like their peer review.
Yeah, it was the peer review. It was the peer review of goddamn artistry, and that's the problem.
Now they just go through the motions.
It's not an echo chamber either, because there is a diversity among artists, and amongst the fact that we can recognize something among ourselves.
Yes.
But critics
and
critiquing other things,
Yeah.
critics critiquing critics
Yeah.
has become like this really messed up place, and I would consider it Digra.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, my brother's come here with some food. So.
Ooh, food.
Does take-
At midnight.
Midnight.
Midnight food.
Midnight food. Yeah, but that's the thing, and that's the thing I wanted to mention earlier as well, is that I don't mind diversity in fiction or in entertainment at all, but it has to come from the creator. It has to be the creator that does it. It doesn't have it can't come from pressure from the outside. It has to come from the creator itself, and it has to come naturally. It has to be there as a part of the story. And that's the only thing that matters, and only other creative people can understand that. And that's
Well,
a
it
lot of the
feels like
problem.
that. It really
Yeah.
does.
When you
in
put
my
But I don't want to
opinion,
get into that critical
Yeah.
theory stuff, you know?
in my opinion, when it comes to something like games, which is, let's be honest about this, a capitalist pursuit in the long term,
Yeah.
you can do it for passion, but ultimately you do want to make money. I think, like many things, what makes something good, or at least good for what it is quite simply the money you make off it. The Transformers films may be an artistically awful film, but it depends on what kind of artistry do you want. Do you want something dumb and smashy that'll entertain you
Yeah.
for 90 minutes and not make you think? And if you do think, you're probably going to get angry at them. But still, I know people who like the Transformers films who like really clever stuff as well. But they openly say, "I like it because it's big robot smashy smashy." And
Yeah,
Pacific Rim
it's-
only has one film.
It's the same. It's the same argument I have with one of my roommates who's a programmer, highly fucking intelligent dude. He fucking loves Geordie Shore and Jersey Shore.
Because they're great.
I don't fucking understand it at all.
I love it because I get to laugh
I
at them.
don't.
I laugh at
I,
them.
It's
I
it's
can't
it's
stand more than
train
2
wreck
seconds of that
shows.
shit.
Oh, it
It's
is
the same
bullshit.
reason people watch like Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, or
Yeah.
they like seeing people who are more of a train wreck than they are, and
Yes,
so they
exactly.
tune in to feel
And
superior.
I just want to,
They bought into
I just want
that
to find
one.
a large weapon and exterminate all them people on them shows in the entirety.
Why? Because you want to be on the bottom rung of the ladder, or what? Just kidding.
Somebody's got to be
Just
below
say
you,
he's one
evil.
step
If anybody's
above
review,
the
nobody.
Because the collective IQ of humanity will go up several points just by their elimination.
Why you get to make
I
fun
understand.
of them? That's the point.
Anyways, anyways,
Schadenfreude.
anyways,
Evil, stupid people have to exist so you can have something to point to explain the definition.
Do they have to be on the television though?
And
Hey, if
on
they
that
don't-
mark, I think it's time to end the show because
Yeah,
we're
because
not.
I'll get back to this some other day, but I really
Yeah,
want to unpack this. This is
yeah.
really a big one, and it really needs unpacking.
Yeah, we all of us should probably read the paper and make some notes and make an entire show about it.
Yeah.
I think we did on the Far Side podcast. I think we read it. Well, we went through it last week. We didn't really have a big emotional thing because people halfway through it started playing Hearthstone, and so no one was really paying attention anymore.
Let me guess. Let me guess. Who was it? Shikaki?
Shikaki wasn't there. It was just me, Gamer of Ages, Not That Apple, and his mate. I always put out the Gamer of Ages was playing fucking Mass Effect 2 in the background, which I shouted at him for after the show.
Don't you do that.
And Not That Apple and his mate were playing Call of Duty on their couch.
Yeah.
And they thought, they thought they'd stream with us as well. But yeah.
Anyways, please remember if you're in New York this weekend, the Red Pill movie is premiering this weekend, and I'm looking forward to my digital copy because I was a backer for that.
Thank you very much for doing that.
Red Bill tonight.
So, I'm really looking forward to that movie. I'm really.
And where can everyone else see it?
I think it will be available online once that it
Premieres.
It premieres, but I'm not sure when. I had the fucking mail here somewhere, and you can also arrange screenings and so on. So I have actually been thinking about talking to them about doing a rabbits screening. So that you could so people could actually see it together and comment on it online. So I'm gonna send them a mail and talk to them about it. But in addition, is it tomorrow we're having the debate, or did we postpone it another week?
I think he was asking for stuff for tomorrow. Gene was.
Yeah, I'll check with Gene.
Uh,
Anyways, tomorrow and Sunday will both be streaming times for the League of Evil. Because if the debate is tomorrow, then the stream won't be tomorrow.
I think I'll run a fireside chat opposite you while we'll watch the debate and comment on it, like those dicks on YouTube always do. Good point.
What time are we? What time are we doing the warm up for the debate?
I think we're doing it at the same time, if it's okay for everybody.
Are we off the air yet?
No, we're not off the air yet. So
all right, goodbye everyone.
So we should probably end the podcast now. And please remember also the tagline podcast on Sunday. We will be me and Gene, and probably Artivous Ira also, because he wanted to be a part of that. We're gonna discuss either Barton Fink or another Coen movie since it's Cocktober. So. Everybody, thank you so much to Artivous Ira and Dr. Evil, my co-hosts, and as our regular special guests, Plippy and Roy, and our special guest for the week, the lovely Alter. Thank you guys so much for being on here, and it was a lively debate, and I'll stop screaming so people who have headphones on don't get hearing aid.
What?
Don't need hearing aids after listening to this podcast.
That's not gonna happen.
I have headphones on.
Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.